I put 1 grain of dust between Earth and the nearest star. Then, I hit it with a spaceship, or, more accurately, the spaceship hit the dust. The grain weighed 1 milligram, about the weight of a small speck of sand. The ship was moving at 1/5 the speed of light. When they met, that tiny grain carried roughly the energy of 400 kilograms of TNT. No bomb, no asteroid, just dust moving very quickly from the ship's point of view. And that was the moment my trip to another star began to fall apart. I had started with a much happier plan. Alpha Centauri is the nearest star system to ours. It is about 4.3 light-years away. That is close enough to see in the night sky. It is not close enough for an ordinary spacecraft. So I borrowed an idea from a serious proposal called Breakthrough Starshot. Make the spacecraft tiny, about the mass of a paperclip. Attach it to a thin sail, then push that sail with an enormous beam of light. The proposed craft could reach about 20% of light speed and pass Alpha Centauri just over 20 years later. For the first time, the trip fit inside one human life. My little camera did not need food, air, or a bed. It only needed to survive the road, but the road was not empty. Between the stars are gas atoms and tiny pieces of dust. At normal speed, they sound harmless. At 1/5 light speed, the ship meets them with enormous energy. Researchers who studied this kind of probe found that gas could damage its surface. Dust could melt material, dig craters, and slowly wear the front away. That does not mean 1 grain would certainly destroy it. It means speed had turned almost nothing into a serious engineering problem. So I gave the probe a shield, a thick nose, tough material, extra layers to lose along the way. Now the probe was heavier. To reach the same speed, the light beam had to push harder or push longer, so I made the shield thinner. Then I turned the craft edge on. That protected the probe better from the front, but gave its instruments less room to look. So I sent many probes. If some failed, perhaps one would survive. That might work. The dust problem is difficult. It is not a locked door, but I had quietly changed the mission. I was no longer trying to send a person to another star. I was trying to make one camera arrive alive, so I made the ship larger. I added a chair, then air, water, food, heat, repairs, a way to slow down at the other end. Every answer added mass, every kilogram wanted more energy, and every faster impact asked for more protection. The tiny probe had survived by becoming almost nothing. I could not do that to a person. So I tried the opposite answer. I slowed down. The impacts became less violent. The energy bill became less absurd. But the 20-year trip stretched beyond a lifetime. That called for a generation ship, not a vehicle with passengers, a moving world. The first crew would live there, grow old there, and die there. Their children would continue the trip. Then, their children's children. The people who chose the destination would never see it. The people who finally arrived would have been born inside the decision. They would know Earth through recordings. They would know their new star as a promise made by dead strangers. Maybe they would love the mission. Maybe the ship would be the only home they ever wanted, but they could not turn around and return to the life their ancestors left. That does not prove a generation ship is wrong. Every child is born into choices made before they arrived. This one would simply make the walls easier to see. And none of this proves the stars are closed. Better shields may work, swarms may work, slow ships may work, future technology may make this entire problem look primitive. But while I was building, the word "we" had changed. The fast ship could carry something I made, but it could not carry me. The generation ship could carry people, but it could not carry the same people from beginning to end. At first, I asked whether humanity could reach another star. Now the question was stranger. If the people who leave are not the people who arrive, who made the journey,